Good morning. It's 6:03. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. The KEEL app, a free download. Down there, Erin's got local news up next.
CSRA is sold. We'll tell you more about that big deal in our local community. The governor calling lawmakers into special session beginning Monday. Who's going to take the lead? And a replica of the Shroud of Turin headed our way.
Speaking of CSRA, did you see their stock is up like 31% in one day?
I wonder why.
In one day. I wonder what happened to somebody in this room at the city council yesterday. Maybe she'll share the news. Fletcher in sports. James Bond in sports. No, Batman in sports.
Oh, is it Batman back?
Traffic and weather, it's all coming up this hour right here on KEEL.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
CSRA gets bought out. Matt Parker with the details.
General Dynamics has announced that it plans to buy out CSRA. The acquisition of the company is expected to be complete by the first half of this year. Phoebe Novakovic, CEO for General Dynamics, says the company plans to take full advantage of the Bossier CSRA and its employees, and says the two companies combining will benefit everyone involved. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Many people still reporting flu-like symptoms in Louisiana, but the state health department seeing a glimmer of hope. After peaking toward the end of last year, flu bug expert Dr. Frank Welch says they're seeing fewer people at doctors' offices suffering from the flu.
We were up to 11% 2 weeks ago. So it seems like we're on the downward trend, but still 8.5 per 100 is really a lot of flu.
The governor has called lawmakers into special session beginning Monday. Stephen Wagasback with the Louisiana Association of Business and Industry telling KEEL News he hopes this is done openly.
Why go into a dark room and try to cut some secret deal on taxes? I say, look, everyone introduce your bills. Let's start holding hearings. Let's go have the public input. Let's have public testimony, and let's let the best idea win. I think that's a more transparent and open approach.
Wagasback says we don't know yet who's going to drive the bus during the special session because no one is stepping up to take control of things. A Caddo Parish school bus carrying special needs students was involved in a traffic accident. It happened just before 3 in the afternoon. A car and a truck hauling heavy equipment were all involved in the crash near Ury and Stratmore. No one hurt. St. John Berkman's in Shreveport will display a life-size replica of the Shroud of Turin. The shroud will be the centerpiece of a special public exhibit at the church. The original shroud is one of the most studied artifacts in human history. The display featuring the replica will begin March 17th. A Baton Rouge police officer wounded in a shooting Sunday night. Now 34-year-old Eugene Thomas Jr. arrested after he fired shots at his family and the officer. Chief Murphy Paul says he did check in on the wounded officer.
He's in good spirits. Obviously, it's an emotional event for him and his family, so we're going to ask you to keep them in your prayers in this healing time and time of recovery.
The chief says the suspect has a criminal history and a history of mental health issues. Caddo schools need bus drivers. Virgil Rochelle, the acting transportation director, says the parish would like to hire 30 new substitute drivers with the possibility of becoming full-time parish employees. Dorothy Edwards arrested for allegedly stealing the identity of an infirmed woman she was caring for. Edwards allegedly took the 65-year-old woman's identity to steal more than $20,000. Few fiscal conservatives are cheering the release of President Trump's $4 trillion-plus budget, which would create trillions in red ink over the next decade if adopted by Congress. Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser celebrating Mardi Gras, but he's not in the state. He's helping to promote Louisiana's new travel slogan, Louisiana, Feed Your Soul. The new brand is being promoted in several states, including the nation's capital.
I'll be in Washington, D.C. with a food truck passing out king cake and attracting local and national media. Also a time for us to promote Mardi Gras around the country and around the world.
And Mardi Gras parades locally this evening. The Children's Parade rolling at 6:30 at Pierre Bossier Mall. There's a Shrevetown walking parade beginning at Municipal Auditorium at 7 p.m. I'm Erin McCarty. on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
It is 9 past 6 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Traffic update starting us off today. Here's Ruben.
It is, once again, the best time of day to get where you're going because everything is all clear for your early morning drive to work or school. But look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-220 westbound near North Market due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today we'll have cloudy skies. We'll also have an afternoon shower, high about 49. Rain at times with clouds and a low of 44 tonight. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
Good morning. It's 11 past 6 o'clock. Robert J. Wright, Erin McCarty. It's 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Don't forget about the KEEL app from Office Furniture Source, a free download. So do you have any sound bites? Do you have any video? Do you have any audio from yesterday's confab with the city council?
Nope.
What happened? Tell us all about it. I don't know.
It was pretty quick. It was we went up before the
meeting started at 3.
Yeah, you do some of the formalities, approving the minutes and all that sort of stuff, and then the mayor introduced several of her nominees, and
there's others besides you.
Yeah, there's a bunch of others. We went first, and
like right at the beginning of the meeting.
Yeah, she wanted to introduce us and see if there were any questions.
Any questions?
There were. I would say not really questions, but statements, I guess.
Uh-oh.
And
statements.
Asking about qualifications and, talking about the purpose of this architectural and engineering committee.
So give me
which
an
is
example.
a volunteer position. Let me just say that because there have been people saying, what is in it for me? Nothing. And I didn't seek it out and all that good stuff.
I didn't see, although I do not, like some people, seek out the latest criticism of whatever. Mm-hmm. So was there any more criticism of your nomination by the mayor to serve on the Architectural and Engineering Committee?
I don't know if anyone spoke from the public after I left, because once we were done, my son was with me and we left. We had plans to go do something, and so we left. And there may have been some comments. No, there was no alcohol yesterday.
So my question is, so what were when you say some council people made statements, that means rather than, so they ask rhetorical questions, not specifically directed at you.
Well, I would hazard to guess
does this woman suck? Sort of like you calling the governor a moron.
No, I didn't call him a moron. I asked if he was a moron.
Aha!
A little bit of a difference.
Okay, so
I am drafting an email to the governor, by the way, just FYI.
So we'll read that later.
Yeah.
So they didn't say that you weren't qualified. They wondered aloud if you were qualified in a way that you were not allowed to respond.
And I talked to them about, and I don't say this very publicly, but I have a pretty decent financial background. I'm pretty studied on money, and I'm always put on finance committees and that kind of thing.
You're cheap.
And I'm cheap. I'm a penny pincher.
Yeah.
And I do watch the dollars and cents.
Tighter than 2 coats of paint.
Yeah, I really am. And I I'm the brand manager of the radio station. They didn't realize what that entailed, and we talked a little bit about, because the other thing was, I looked in this room, and it's funny, and a little bit of history, because when I first moved here, part of my day-to-day job was covering City Hall. So every 2 weeks, I was at the city council meeting. Monday and Tuesday, I was there. Every meeting, sat there, carried my big bulky cassette recorder in, sat it on the table, plugged in, recorded all the stuff, then go back and edit. And so I was there when the Architectural and Engineering Committee was created by Hazel Beard years and years ago. So I made sure to mention that. And it's funny because there's only one person in the room that was also there, and that's Art Thompson, who's the clerk of the council. He's still there.
Pardon me. They did give you a chance to speak.
Oh, yeah, I spoke.
Oh, my God. Okay, we'll get back to this.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't have audio from this?
Someone didn't record it here back at the station. They got in the middle of something else and failed to get it. And I obviously couldn't record it. I was there. I wasn't.
Couldn't do like a little selfie stick or anything.
No, there's a big sign in the room that says no cell phones in the chambers or something.
Rules don't apply to you.
Nah,
don't they know who you are?
Do on that day, but we're going to try to dig it up. I know they have it somewhere.
Yeah,
and we'll try to find it. But I told them a little bit about my history. I told them a little bit about my
just a second.
Public service.
I want to get the time frame right here. So was at first did the council people who had questions about your qualifications, did they speak? Who were they and what did they say?
Okay, the ones that spoke, Oliver Jenkins spoke early, and after hearing me talk about, he said, well, now I'm clear on...
What did he say?
He said, I'm clear that you're qualified, something to that effect. And he and I had not spoken about this prior. Councilman Bradford spoke and asked a couple of questions about, whether I met the qualifications, etc.
Right.
Didn't say yay or nay I did or didn't. Councilwoman Lynch spoke, and she made a longer... She brought you up, FYI.
Awesome.
She said...
I'm dragging you down, aren't I?
Yeah, you really are.
Oh,
she
well,
said,
what the hell?
I really wasn't planning on speaking, but I know your partner, Robert, will probably get on me if I don't say something about this.
I wasn't planning on speaking. Stephanie Lynch talks in her sleep.
Well, she and I had a lengthy conversation the day before, and we kind of came to a... we kind of came to an understanding. I still don't think she thinks I'm right for this, and I think she was trying to talk me out of it for my own good, which is kind of, I appreciate it. I really did appreciate it.
For your own good.
Yeah. She talked a little bit about how this committee is not corrupt like most people will have you believe, and that there's not a long history of corruption, etc. But she did have some issues. She did have a few questions with regard to whether or not I was a right fit for the committee. Now, what will happen? The formal vote is in 2 weeks, so I guess I have to go back for that. Also, the other thing that was interesting, and I didn't realize. I mean, I realized it, but I didn't realize it to this extent. Jeff Everson probably made me smile because he said, "I sure hope y'all like binders, because you're just going to get stacks and stacks of binders with all these proposals and all that you're going to have to review." And I'm fine with that. I'm ready for that. But the way he made it sound, it sounded like a stack of binders to the ceiling.
It may well be.
Kind of scared me a little bit. But
so what did you say? Now, did you answer each of the...
No, I gave a little spiel, and then they did their thing. And then we went on our separate ways.
So you sold yourself, then they objected.
No, well... not really. And the mayor and I did have a little interchange during the meeting where I said, if any of you think that this is going to impact what I do day to day on the radio, I want y'all to understand today. And I turned to her and I said that this will in no way impact whether or not I'm going to be critical of the mayor or say anything about what she does. And she goes, come at me like you do, or something like that, or something to that effect. And I said, yeah, it won't change that at all. And I hope y'all all understand that. The impression that the town gets is that some people in the town gets is that, this is going to change what I do on the radio. And Stephanie made another good point too. She said some of the detractors do have a point, and we can't just ignore them. We can't totally ignore them.
What point might that have been?
That we have to make sure that everything's done above board and all that. But she knows deep in her heart.
You're going to come on the radio and talk about it. What
more? Yeah, exactly. If there were to be something done in this committee that was shady, who do you think is the first person that will say something? Seriously, I mean, think about that. And the other thing I want to say, and I really don't. I read some of the social media stuff, but I really don't. It's duck off a water's goose or whatever it is.
That's exactly what they say.
Is that what it is?
Absolutely.
It's if you think of my 34-year career in this business, if I would put that in jeopardy for one mayoral election or one person to be reelected for mayor, if you really believe that, then you really are kind of like the governor. I didn't say that, did I?
Yeah, I think you kind of did.
I didn't mean it like that.
No.
You really are not the brightest bulb
we knew what
in
you
the
meant.
room.
We
know
knew
what I mean?
We knew what you meant to say.
Who would do that?
Basically, what Erin is saying is this is a volunteer position.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, and she's probably not going to get a free kitchen out of it, so what the hell?
No, it's not going to happen. And I do want to apologize to the KTBS, the young man who was there, because he chased me out of the room and he asked if he could have a comment, from me.
Right.
And I said, I thank you so much. I appreciate you asking, but I can't until I'm confirmed. I'm going to wait.
Playing that card, are you?
Let the council do their deal, and then
except in here on the radio.
I'll be happy to talk to you.
If he wants to stop by,
they're welcome to stop by.
There's 4 mics on the table. There's room for one more.
Oh, man.
19 past 6
Can we
o'clock.
stop talking about this now?
No. 19 past. Ooh, I just went falsetto on you.
you
there.
did.
That was pretty awesome.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
19 past 6 o'clock. It's 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Rubens, your traffic time.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Shed Road near Swan Lake Spur in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today we'll have cloudy skies. We'll also have an afternoon shower, high about 49. Rain at times with clouds and a low of 44 tonight. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
Twenty-two past 6 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Time for sports. Here's Tim.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Wasn't a very good night for local soccer teams, as every team that traveled south came home with a loss and out of the postseason. Loyola, the top seed in their division, knocked off by the Academy of Sacred Heart 2-0. Bird was shut out at Santamont 1-0. And North DeSoto was handed an 8-0 loss by Vanderbilt Catholic. There was some good news in Division II. Two local squads squared off at Lee Hedges last night, and Caddo Magnet blanked Parkway 2-0 to advance to the semifinals. In college basketball action, Grambling ran their winning streak to 10 games with a 78-55 win over Southern to gain first place in the SWAC all to themselves. They are now 10-3 in SWAC action tonight. In the SEC, LSU travels to Alabama. Both teams coming off wins. Alabama absolutely destroyed 15th-ranked Tennessee last Saturday. In the NBA, the New Orleans Pelicans won for the second game in a row, 118-103 over Detroit. Anthony Davis, 38 points, 10 rebounds. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
So, okay, here's your chance to prove those 101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright, and Erin McCarty. Here's your chance to prove those, as you stated to the Shreveport City Council yesterday, financial bona fides. Prove your worth. Prove you know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Tell me about this CSRA deal and why it matters.
Well, General Dynamics essentially is going to buy CSRA. CSRA does the IT. They do operation services for the Department of Defense and a whole bunch of stuff. Earlier this year, CSRA recruited and hired more than 700 workers. They've still been actively hiring folks. I've seen them all around town.
When I saw the news on the sale yesterday, I just looked at the CSRA stock price, and it was up like $9. It was up 31% in one day.
It's a $6.8 billion deal. That's what General Dynamics is spending. Now, everybody, when you see this, you're like, are they going to keep it here? Is it going to stay here? Is General Dynamics going to move it somewhere else? What's going to happen? Those are all questions you have to ask, but you would only assume. I mean, it's recently opened here. It's state of the art. It's an incredible facility. So I can't imagine that anything like that would change.
Let's bring more of it here. Let's bring more stuff.
I like that. Here. I think that's a great idea. Bring General Dynamics to town. That
Excellent
would be awesome.
Idea.
We have a big facility, out west of town. Pretty big that they're not building much in.
You're pointing kind of north. Oh, you mean that way? Okay.
Yeah, it started with a G and ended with an M.
Yeah, I don't know. And I forget the name.
General Dynamics would fit in there. We wouldn't even have to change the first one.
I'll only have to change the second letter.
Yeah,
just what you want. GD on the side of a building.
I'm thinking General Dynamics would fit in here really nicely. Right here next to an interstate. Pretty good airports. Got Barksdale if you need a big, military-type airport.
I can't argue your point. So what's the time frame? Does anybody have any idea? Is there anybody? Is anyone saying anything either locally or with General Dynamics that might give us some sort of inclination? I mean, are the local people going, "Oh no," or "Hot damn"?
You know, the head guy for General Dynamics, he says the combined effort will benefit everyone involved. That was a quote that Matt dug up for the story. And, you know, I like hearing that. Doesn't talk about any kind of layoffs or, you know, merger acquisition stuff that makes you scared.
They never talk about layoffs.
I know.
By the way, just to kind of put this in perspective, last year CSRA made $5 billion in revenue, right? Ooh. The General Dynamics company that's buying them out made $31 billion. So if they stay here, this is a big time company that does some big boy stuff.
Oh, this is big boy. General Dynamics is a big boy company.
28 past 6 o'clock. It's 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Down yonder, Miss Erin getting ready for local news. That is up next. Right now, do we have anybody on the agenda, on the schedule, on the itinerary this morning? Who are you texting this early in the morning?
I'm working on a couple of things. I can't say anything to you yet, but I'm working. You know how I am in the 6 o'clock hours when my phone start blowing up. So
no, that's when you start waking people up and running them out of bed.
Texting people at 6
and waking them up. Yeah.
Then if they don't respond by 6:05,
I get a little hostile.
You start wondering why they're disrespecting you.
Yeah. What the heck is wrong with you?
I texted them 90 seconds ago. Mm-hmm. Don't they know who I am?
Right.
I'm on the A&E committee.
I feel bad
no,
for
I'm not yet.
A&E committee members. Oh, God, here she is calling at 3:30 in the morning again. What the hell?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, well, now that we said that out loud, that dims the light bulb of your chances.
Oh, man.
29 past 6, traffic update coming up right now. Just ahead of local news, here's Ruben.
Looks like I-20 westbound's got it clear all the way to Dallas right now, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-49 south near 3132. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROW.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Cloudy today. A shower this afternoon with a high of 49. Mostly cloudy with rain at times tonight. Low 44. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
Got 9, 3. Got 10, 3, 2, 1. 12, 3, 2, 1. Got 12, 3, 2, 1.
The flu shot does not cause the flu. You have to get the right information.
That's the end of this feed stations. If you have any questions.
A special needs bus involved in a crash. Matt Parker with that.
A Caddo school bus carrying special needs students was involved in an accident Monday afternoon. The wreck happened just before 3 p.m. at Erie and Stratmore. The 5 special needs students were unharmed in the crash. An elderly woman driving one of the other cars complained of chest pains following the accident. A full report of the wreck is being made, and the bus driver will have to submit to drug and alcohol screenings as required by law. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Caddo schools need bus drivers. Virgin Rochelle, the acting transportation director, says the parish would like to hire 30 new substitute bus drivers with the possibility of becoming full-time parish employees. Dorothy Edwards arrested for allegedly stealing the identity of an infirmed woman she was caring for. Edwards allegedly took the 65-year-old woman's identity to steal more than $20,000. The governor has called lawmakers into special session beginning on Monday. Stephen Wagasback with the Louisiana Association of Business and Industry tells KEEL News several proposals will be discussed.
A lot of revenue raising was on that call, but there were some things to help reduce the size and scope of government. There's things to reform Medicaid. There's things to put some transparency on there. There's things to put a spending cap on there. So there's opportunities for there to be a decent mix in this special session.
But Wagasback says it's unclear at this point which faction will drive the train during the session. Eugene Thomas Jr. arrested after he fired several shots at his family and at a police officer in Baton Rouge. The officer, who has not yet been named, suffered serious but not life-threatening wounds. Chief Murphy Paul of Baton Rouge asked for the senseless violence to end.
It's this culture of violence, that
The federal government has declared years after it went missing in a dry cleaning mix-up. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to watch you do that face.
Okay, that's okay.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Shreveport Security Systems text line is quick. You got this. What is it? Quick.
318-392-1884.
Not bad.
Got it?
318-392-1884.
You can send us nice things, nasty things. It doesn't matter to us.
It does matter.
It does matter, actually.
No, I don't care.
Did you see that Amazon has announced it is going to... How much money do you think? How much money a year do you think Amazon spends on shipping costs?
Ooh.
A ton.
A lot of money.
In other words, farming out stuff to FedEx, to UPS, or to whomever. Just give me a number. Let's play the high-low game.
Let's say $50 million.
You're just a little low.
I was going to say 75.
$20 billion a year in shipping costs.
God,
wow.
Darn.
To FedEx and UPS. UPS in 1 quarter of last year. 1 quarter of last year. UPS made over $18 billion. Just to show you what kind of money there is in that. So as a result of Amazon spending $20 billion a year letting someone else do it, what do you think Amazon's going to do?
Set up their own shipping company.
Start their own delivery service.
Wow.
So not only will Amazon in the next couple or 3 years, not only will Amazon start delivering their own stuff via their own planes, own trucks, own fill in the blank, but I wouldn't be surprised if they start to cut into FedEx and UPS stuff.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So there's going to be a new player in the market, and it's called Amazon. There's a reason Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world. There's a what is it, $200 billion?
Yeah. Gee whiz.
So if you're FedEx or your UPS, as you gird yourself for this onslaught, what are you going to do? I mean, can you look? It's, to me, shipping in America, be it FedEx, UPS, the post office, whatever, it's a pretty reasonable cost compared to anywhere in the rest of the world. The point is this: if Amazon gets into the delivery business, which they say they're going to do, prices are going to drop. Because they're going to have to compete.
Too much competition, yeah.
Well, look.
That's a good thing. For those of us who order online a lot.
I was going to say there's going to be competition and price cuts, but probably not at the post office.
I don't know.
Well, no. You do know. In the last few years, okay, if you own a business and you are faced with stiff, legitimate competition, what do you do to face that competition? You increase your service and you cut your price. You increase your service and you cut your price.
Yes.
And yet, what does the post office do in the face of competition from UPS and FedEx? They increase their price and cut their service.
They have, yeah. True.
Okay? So what makes you think, to face the onslaught of a new competitor, Amazon, that they're going to do any different? Time to raise the prices, we've got a competitor. Time to close some more windows and cut back on delivery, we have more competition. Look, it's the government at work. It's how government works.
But you know, my pal Becky will tell you, the post office is self-sustaining.
Okay, but
that's why they would have to raise they got to be self-sustaining. So that's why they would have to raise their rates, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, if you are a private business and you go to the meeting and you say, we've got more competition, and somebody says, what's the plan? And we say, like, there's more radio stations all of a sudden. Oh, wait, I know, like Pandora or satellite radio. We don't cut back on our service and increase our price. That's business suicide.
Sure.
And yet, that's what the post office does. Saturday delivery, it's got to go. Time to raise the price of stamps again because we have to be self-sustaining. At the end of the day, that's just not how it is. They can say, I mean, it's impossible. How do they stay in business? Not to mention all the pensions they're responsible for.
That's the truth.
Amazon in the delivery business, look for it soon. Is that a drone outside your house? If it is, it's probably from Amazon.
I don't know.
19 away from 9 o'clock. 19 away from 7 o'clock. 101.7 FM. 710 Key. You look like you're going to say something.
I'm just worried about I'm worried about the drones anywhere around my house. I got the foil up in the skylights.
Oh, yeah, you're afraid about those photos, well, especially now that you're a public figure. Traffic update coming up right now. You okay down there? Erin likes a good cohiba. Traffic update. Here's Ruben.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Shed Road near Swan Lake Spur in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today we'll have cloudy skies. We'll also have an afternoon shower, high about 49. Rain at times with clouds and a low of 44 tonight. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. It is 6:43.
Feeling neglected right now.
Why is that?
Because I think I've sent 8 people a text looking for somebody's phone number and no replies yet.
Really? Could it be that it's 6:43 in the morning and it's cold outside and dark and nobody's
No, I
up yet?
think they're scared of me all of a sudden.
Oh, my
I don't
God.
know what it is.
Oh, your power. Your
Morning coffee. Talk to Erin McCarty.
Well, sleep. Talk to Erin McCarty.
How, pardon me, don't take this the wrong way, but how full of yourself have you gotten in
No.
virtually no time at all that you
Come
think people
on.
are
I'm making a joke. Can you not get a joke?
Right, sure, okay. Emperor has clothes.
Thank God.
Robert De Niro takes aim. You know, I'll end with this. I'll just read you the headline. Robert De Niro takes aim at Trump's climate change policy. First of all, that they were having a climate change summit in the United Arab Republics in Dubai, which produces, by the way, about 3.03 million barrels of oil a day.
Mm-hmm.
Why you would choose Dubai to have is that hypocrisy, or
Pretty
is
big
that
oil country, yeah.
or is that just stupid? I mean, that would be like cows having lunch at McDonald's. That's just a horrible idea. I just don't understand that. But De Niro takes aim at Trump's climate policy. Let me see. Hollywood star Robert De Niro, blah, blah, blah. The Trump administration's stance. Remember the Dixie Chicks? And I think they were in France at a concert in France right after 9/11. And they said really, really mean things about George W. Bush and his Iran policy to fight terrorists.
Yes.
And for all intents and purposes, at least for a great length of time, it destroyed their career. Well, if you're Robert De Niro, obviously that's not going to happen.
Right.
Hollywood star Robert De Niro takes aim at the Trump administration's stance on climate change, telling a packed audience in the Middle East. Who goes to this? Who would go to a climate change summit in one of the biggest oil-producing countries in the world? Why would they have it there? That he was visiting, De Niro said he was visiting from a backward country, suffering from temporary insanity. De Niro said, I'm talking about my own country, the United States of America. We don't like to say we're a backward country, so let's just say we're suffering from a case of temporary insanity, which will hopefully cure itself by removing soon that dangerous leader. What do you know about the United Arab Emirates? What do you know about the UAE, specifically Dubai?
The biggest buildings in the world. They have these mega towers.
Let's start here. Would you assume, and I think it's a fair assumption, that Robert De Niro did not make this trip to a climate change summit in the United Arab Republics
For free?
For free.
No, I would highly doubt.
So what do you think Robert De Niro's appearance fee is? $1 million? $500,000? Room in, he's getting a hotel and airfare in the nicest joint in town.
Yeah, he's got paid, I'm sure.
So what do you think? Tiger Woods, which is something else, by the way, and I'll cover this in a second. Tiger Woods or Rory McIlroy go to play in that big tournament. It's the European tournament. It's on the European Tour in Dubai. Their asking fee is $1.5 million to $2 million just to show up.
Wow.
So what do you think Robert De Niro gets for going to a speaking engagement in Dubai?
I'm looking at his fee ranges from $100,000 to $1 million.
Okay, so let's say that old Bob got
half a mil.
$500,000 sounds good. Would it be safe to assume? Would it be fair to assume that Robert De Niro is, based on his climate change stance, his climate change opinion, is a liberal? That he is, in his own mind, a man who stands up for fairness and equality and all those principles that people on the left think they embrace. Fair enough?
Yeah, probably.
So Robert De Niro took $500,000. We're guessing at that amount, but he didn't go for free. Robert De Niro took $500,000, give or take, to give a speech in a nation. Wait, let me just read from Human Rights Watch. The UAE's penal code, blah, 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 criminalizes homosexuality, providing for a minimum sentence of 1 year in prison. In practice, the UAE uses Article 356, which is referred to as ZINA, Z-I-N-A laws, to ban consensual same-sex relations. Let me continue. Different emirates within the UAE have laws that criminalize same-sex relations, including Abu Dhabi. Where was Robert De Niro? Abu Dhabi. Where Abu Dhabi, including Abu Dhabi, where unnatural sex with another person, i.e. same-sex relations, can be punished with up to 14 years in prison. So Robert De Niro, fair, equal, liberal, leftist, Robert De Niro took money to go to a country and bash America, a country where you can get up to 14 years in prison for being gay. Attaboy, Bob. Way to stand up for what's right. 649, 1017 FM, 710 KEEL. A quick look at traffic just ahead of your money now. Right now, here comes Ruben on KEEL.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Shed Road near Swan Lake Spur in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Eight away from 7 o'clock. KEEL Sports. Here's Tim.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Wasn't a very good night for local soccer teams as every team that traveled south came home with a loss and out of the postseason. Loyola, the top seed in their division, knocked off by the Academy of Sacred Heart 2-0. Bird was shut out at Santamont 1-0. And North DeSoto was handed an 8-0 loss by Vanderbilt Catholic. There was some good news in Division 2. Two local squads squared off at Lee Hedges last night, and Caddo Magnet blanked Parkway 2-0 to advance to the semifinals. In college basketball action, Grambling ran their winning streak to 10 games with a 78-55 win over Southern to gain first place in the SWAC all to themselves. They are now 10-3 in SWAC action tonight. In the SEC, LSU travels to Alabama. Both teams coming off wins. Alabama absolutely destroyed 15th-ranked Tennessee last Saturday. In the NBA, the New Orleans Pelicans won for the second game in a row, 118-103 over Detroit. Anthony Davis, 38 points, 10 rebounds. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Good morning, 655. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Don't forget to download the KEEL app. It's free. It's awesome.
Don't forget Mardi Gras parades. You got a couple of them going on still here locally.
Well, it is Fat Tuesday today.
Is Mardi Gras. Hey! Sorry. Children's parade, Pierre Bossier Mall, 6:30 tonight.
What was that noise?
You want that again?
Well, no.
No,
Okay.
no.
It was, the problem with it was you tried to go full Cajun on us.
Yeah.
And basically you kind of held back.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, instead of sounding like one of those real Cajuns, you sounded sort of like you twisted your ankle in a pothole.
Oh, see, I was going to go with contestant in one of those pig calling contests.
Then you have the Shrevetown Walking Parade beginning at Municipal at 7 o'clock tonight. And I have a moral dilemma. Can you help me with this for tomorrow?
You got 30 seconds.
Ash Wednesday, Lent begins. Is it sacrilegious for me to ask the priest to put my ashes in the shape of a heart? Since Ash Wednesday and Valentine's Day are on the same day.
See,
so we could all be walking around with black hearts on our foreheads.
A black heart on your
Don't
forehead.
you think that would be a cool idea?
I think that sounds kind of literary. We'll stop right
there. Is it sacrilegious?
Erin Blackheart McCarty. Not the first time you've been referred to that. Well, other than outside divorce court. 6:56. Here's Rush on KEEL.
Politico ran a hit piece on Trump's chief of staff, John Kelly. Politico trying to turn a White House staff secretary's resignation into a national security scandal and trying to lay the blame on General Kelly for letting the guy work in the White House without a full security clearance. Now, according to Politico, this is a big, big no-no. Every person who has access to the most sensitive pieces of intelligence must be supremely trustworthy, capable of being kept in the highest cones of silence, they say. If they leak information, they potentially jeopardize lives of intelligence agents or sources in the field. Now, maybe we could take these drive-by media types seriously if we hadn't just lived through 8 years of Obama and Hillary. None of these media clowns were a bit concerned when classified material was on her server in her bathroom for all the world to pry into. We didn't see news criticizing the highly classified material found on Anthony Weiner's laptop sent by his wife, Huma Weiner, because Hillary supposedly couldn't figure out how to print it. There was no concern over national security when people in sensitive positions were unmasked by Obama's people, conducting their politically motivated spy operations. So you know what? Nice try, Politico, but stuff it. Try a new angle. Too much hypocrisy here, even for you people on the left. Say, folks, the people at LifeLock wanted me to remind you there's a lot more to identity theft than you may have thought. Monitoring your credit or checking your bank statements, that might offer you some protection. But they only offer a limited view of what actually is going on with your identity. Now, you may not be able to detect it if your personal information is for sale on the dark web. That's why there's LifeLock. They use proprietary technology to alert you to a wider range of identity threats. And if you have a problem, one of their U.S.-based identity restoration specialists will work with you to fix it. Now, of course, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses. But with LifeLock, you can see more identity threats that you may otherwise miss. Join now, get 10% off. Just go to promo code RUSH at 800-440-4833 or lifelock.com and use promo code RUSH. That's RUSH. 10% now at lifelock.com.
The intersection of Kings Highway and Linwood Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on McDade Street near Barksdale Boulevard and Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Cloudy today. A shower this afternoon with a high of 49. Mostly cloudy with rain at times tonight. Low 44. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. KEEL, Shreveport.
3 past 7 o'clock, Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Local news, Erin's getting ready. What you got, kid?
Talking about the flu and its impact across the nation. This is Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras. Lots still going on. And are you missing a goat?
I don't know.
Patriots sure were. Oh, bad joke.
Yeah, it truly was. So Rob Broussard is the head of the Broadmoor Neighborhood Association.
Yeah, they have a big shindig this
evening. And they're having
evening.
a meeting. Shindig implies there's going to be music and dancing.
When I get there.
They're going to talk about crime. I'm not sure there's going to be much dancing.
You got a point.
Unless the chief of police dances around the topic, he's going to be there too.
Whoa!
Plus Fletcher in sports and traffic and weather. Mr. Rob joins us in a second or two. Traffic and weather and Fletcher in sports this hour coming up on Keel.
General Dynamics has announced it plans to buy out CSRA. The acquisition of the company expected to be complete by the first half of this year. The CEO for General Dynamics says the company plans to take full advantage of the Bossier CSRA and its employees. It says the two companies combining will benefit everyone involved. The federal government has declared this year's flu season as the worst breakout since the 2009 swine flu epidemic. State Health Secretary Dr. Rebecca Gee says if you're holding out on getting your shot because of vaccine-related rumors, you're making a mistake.
The flu shot does not cause the flu. Probably the single most important invention in medicine that saved the most lives was the vaccine. So if there is a vaccine for something, get it.
Nearly 500,000 people around the world will die from the flu this year. Gee says if you're concerned about potential mercury in the flu vaccine, you're misinformed. A Caddo school bus carrying special needs students involved in a crash Monday afternoon happened just before 3 p.m. at Ury and Stratmore. The 5 special needs students were unharmed in that crash. An elderly woman driving one of the other cars complained of chest pains following the accident. St. John Berkman's gets a special exhibit. Matt Parker with that.
St. John Birchman's in Shreveport will be displaying a life-size replica of the Shroud of Turin. The shroud will be the centerpiece of a special public exhibit at the church. The original shroud is one of the most studied artifacts in human history. The display featuring the replica will start March 17th. From 101.7 FM and 710 Keel, I'm Matt Parker.
Caddo schools need bus drivers. Virgin Rochelle, the acting transportation director, says the parish wants to hire about 30 new subs with the possibility of them becoming full-time employees. Benefits of the job include health and life insurance, along with retirement. Dorothy Edwards arrested for allegedly stealing the identity of an infirmed woman she was caring for. Edwards allegedly took the 65-year-old woman's identity to steal more than $20,000. Caddo detectives found that Edwards opened up fraudulent credit cards and used the woman's bank account to pay her bills. A Baton Rouge police officer wounded in a shooting Sunday night. Chief Murphy Paul says detectives don't know yet what sparked the shooting.
We don't know the specific details of what led to the initial 911 call. That is still under investigation. We had 4 separate scenes last night, and it's still under investigation at this time.
34-year-old Eugene Thomas Jr. has been charged with attempted first-degree murder of a police officer, and a felon in possession of a firearm. The special session begins on Monday. Stephen Wagasback with the Louisiana Association of Business and Industry tells Keel News it's unclear who will step up to try to make things happen.
We really don't know yet who's going to grab the wheel of this thing and drive this session, because you've got a lot of different groups saying a lot of different things inside the legislature and in the administration, and no one really wants to stand up and say, all right, we're taking control of this thing.
Wagasback says there are several measures to bring in new revenue, but there are some spending caps and other measures to trim the budget. More than 1 million visitors will enjoy Mardi Gras in New Orleans this year, but it's not the only place to celebrate the last day before Lent. The town of Iowa will keep the Chicken Run tradition alive this year, starting at the Knights of Columbus Hall. Chicken Run organizer Rodney Victorian says the town has a unique way of celebrating Fat Tuesday.
We turn loose a couple of chickens and stuff, roosters, but mainly. and allow the chicken to run free and stuff. And we have a bunch of kids that's chasing it.
We'll have a big children's parade going on locally tonight. It begins at 6:30 at Pierre Bossier Mall. Also tonight, the Shrevetown Walking Parade begins at Municipal Auditorium at 7 p.m. Some Medicare beneficiaries would face higher prescription drug costs under President Trump's budget, even as the sickest patients save money. That may make it harder to sell the complex plan to Congress in an election year, though. A goat on the loose. His name is Rowdy. He was picked up in a local neighborhood. Now, he did have a tag on, but no address. If the owner of Rowdy is not found, he'll be sold at auction. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Nine past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL traffic time. Here's Ruben.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic at the intersection of Uri Drive and Southfield Road. And we're looking at some traffic delays on Shed Road near Swan Lake Spur in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today we'll have cloudy skies. We'll also have an afternoon shower, high about 49. Rain at times with clouds and a low of 44 tonight. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
Good morning. It's 12 past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Don't forget about the KEEL app, a free download presented by Office Furniture Source. Mr. Rob Broussard is the president of the Broadmoor Neighborhood Association. Hey, Mr. Rob, welcome to KEEL. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. Good morning.
So you guys got a meeting tonight, a special meeting, a special get-together. Is this a regular meeting?
It's regular, yeah.
What's the topic, a particular topic for tonight? Tell us about that.
Okay, we have our regular monthly meeting, and each month we have guest speakers that talk about topics that concern Broadmoor, excuse me, Broadmoor specifically. And that meeting, like I said, starts at 6 at the Broadmoor Presbyterian Church, right behind Arthur Circle Elementary School, 1915 Grover Avenue. Our guest speaker tonight is going to be Shreveport Police Chief Alan Crump. And he's going to be talking about crime, especially crime in District 5. And so we have that. as a topic, and we also have the street repair program that the mayor released a couple of weeks ago on our agenda.
Rob, I hear a lot of grumblings from folks in the Broadmoor neighborhood about the crime numbers, and especially businesses in Broadmoor saying they're really worried about it. They're concerned that their kind of neighborhood's been left out.
Well, Erin, I could not have said it better. We feel like the red-headed stepchild as we speak. I hear that myself, and as you note on social media, we've had several pages crop up that deal with nothing but crime, and especially in 71105. It's a concern of all of us. Our traditionally stable neighborhood has become a hotbed of crime.
What kind of crimes are we worried about? What kind of crimes are happening in Broadmoor, Rob?
Well, if you look at the report from the police chief's office as of February the 2nd, the selected crime offenses by district, it labels us as having 103 tactical crimes. That's more than double any other district in Shreveport. And one of the things that creates those numbers is that we have thefts from auto at 58. We have shoplifting at 19, thefts from residents 12, auto thefts 11, and residential burglaries 15. I mean, we've been working with the police department for over a year and a half now, trying to get them engaged with helping lower these crime numbers. And there's several things that come out when you have conversations with them. The first thing is that when we look at these crimes that have been committed in our area, we're finding that most of the people that they are arresting do not live in Broadmoor. They are coming to Broadmoor to commit their criminal acts. The second thing is that that many of the crimes, as the police report to us, that involve autos, is basically because people left their car doors open. Another thing that concerns us, and I say this with a qualifier, is that a lot of people are leaving their weapons in their cars, and of course, when they break in these cars, they're stealing their weapons. And
Mr. Rob, pardon me, Rob, is part of the problem that traditionally Broadmoor has this reputation as a nice, quiet neighborhood, and maybe you can't get the police presence that I imagine you would want because, don't take this the wrong way, the lack of let me rephrase, that because of more serious crime elsewhere?
I don't know what you can label as more serious crimes. We've already had 2 murders in our area this year. Of course, murder is usually people that know each other. Most murders are committed by people who know each other, and it's not defined by district. But we've had 2 murders already, and I'm one of those people who say that I shouldn't have to put myself behind walls and fences and to protect myself. We have a police department whose job is to enforce the laws, and I think we're having a breakdown is that as they catch people and they go through the judicial system, I think that's where the ball is being dropped. You have people with rap sheets that have 15, 20 offenses, and if it's not a violent offense against another person, they're basically, sent back on the street.
Your message to the chief tonight during the meeting, what are the residents and the business owners in Broadmoor, what do they want to tell him tonight if you could get that message out?
I think they want to say that until we get this situation under control, they need to increase patrols, especially at night. I mean, let's target the time and the places that these are happening. Captain Shreve neighborhood, which adjoins us, is in District 5. They've had just a plethora of car break-ins. Well, if we know that, and statistics are showing that, let's have increased patrols at night during that time. During those times, and I think we need to sit down with the DA and I know we can't influence judges, but we need to say, hey, we need to have these people that are breaking in cars and stuff severely prosecuted, and until the point is that they know that if you come in Broadmoor, you're going to get caught.
Mr. Rob, pardon me, I can't imagine that this is the first time that you or members of your association, given the increased crime in your neighborhood, haven't spoken to the police or possibly even the DA. What answer have you gotten to this point?
Well, the police come to every one of our meetings. They're always a welcome element of our meetings, and in each meeting, we ask them to give us a report on the crime in our area. And, we get varying reports. They tell us that crime is on its way down, and then we read the crime sheets and we go, is it really? I mean, we're doubling the amount of crime in of any other district in the city. How can it be going down if we have this much crime being committed?
Rob, what time's the meeting tonight, and where is it located?
Okay, the meeting's at 6:00, and it's located in the gym at the Broadmoor Presbyterian Church.
Open to the public, right?
Yes, ma'am. Our meetings are open to the public. Our meetings are a town hall style meeting. We allow our speakers to give their speech, and then we open the floor for dialogue. Our speakers know we don't invite speakers that don't let audience members ask questions. Sometimes it gets a little heated, but with all due respect, we maintain civility in those things. So, but that's just one thing. The other thing is our streets. We're very concerned with our infrastructure falling apart in Broadmoor, and why are we being basically left out in this street repair program? In 3 years, we've had 3 streets repaired.
We're seriously 3 streets in 3 years?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
January 2015 through December 2016, there were 148 street projects undertaken by the city. Okay, 2016, there were 98 street projects. In 2017, there were 50 new street projects scheduled for repair. District C has either been at the bottom or left out completely on those. When I say District C, I shouldn't say left out completely. I should say that Broadmoor, even within District C, has been left out almost totally in those repairs.
Have you asked why, and what's the answer you get?
Yeah, I had a meeting with the mayor. We had a telephone conversation, and in that conversation, they said, well, you're not seeing the big picture, and they sent me an email of sidewalk repairs. And so my response to them was, well, please send me the sidewalk repairs in all the other districts. But more than pointing out what's going on in other districts, I noted why the absence of street repairs in Broadmoor. It's alarming to see that one neighborhood has been left out so completely. I had a council member call me and say, the streets in my district look like a third world country, and I go, but what would you say if you found out that only one street was even considered for repair this year? They tell me there's an index that the engineers use to determine which streets are in most need of repair. I looked at the streets in District C that are scheduled for repair. I took a ride down them, and I'm going to give everybody there a basic litmus test tonight, and that's to tell them to look at these streets that are scheduled for repair, get your car, take a ride on them.
Mm-hmm.
Then take a ride on Pennsylvania, Leo, Atlantic. Take a ride in Broadmoor and come back and with a straight face tell me that index is working.
Rob, we're up against the clock. I can't thank you enough for your time. Broadmoor Neighborhood Association meeting tonight. Thanks for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good day.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, the latest traffic for Tuesday. Ruben's here.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic at the intersection of Uri Drive and Southfield Road. And we're looking at some traffic delays on Shed Road near Swan Lake Spur in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today we'll have cloudy skies. We'll also have an afternoon shower, high about 49. Rain at times with clouds and a low of 44 tonight. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire.
.1017 FM, 710 Keel. Time for sports. Here's Tim.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Wasn't a very good night for local soccer teams as every team that traveled south came home with a loss and out of the postseason. Loyola, the top seed in their division, knocked off by the Academy of Sacred Heart 2-0. Bird was shut out at Santamont 1-0. And North DeSoto was handed an 8-0 loss by Vanderbilt Catholic. There was some good news in Division II. Two local squads squared off at Lee Hedges last night, and Caddo Magnet blanked Parkway 2-0 to advance to the semifinals. In college basketball action, Grambling ran their winning streak to 10 games with a 78-55 win over Southern to gain first place in the SWAC all to themselves. They are now 10-3 in SWAC action tonight. In the SEC, LSU travels to Alabama. Both teams coming off wins. Alabama absolutely destroyed 15th-ranked Tennessee last Saturday. In the NBA, the New Orleans Pelicans won for the second game in a row, 118-103 over Detroit. Anthony Davis, 38 points, 10 rebounds. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
27 past 7 o'clock. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. I hope we have time later. Is the NFL getting ready to start their owners' meetings? Is that what this is?
Yeah, sometime in the near future.
They've got a lot of topics too. Off the top of your head, if you were an NFL owner, what would you think if you had to list 3 things that the league really needs to address, that the problems they need to iron out? What would those be?
I still think they have work to do on the head collisions.
Excellent.
Concussion issues.
Right. Okay, so concussion actually, what they will be considering is if you take a head hit, if you take a shot to the head as a player, you will be out of the game for the rest of that game because of the possibility of delayed concussive reaction.
Oh, my.
So, basically, correct me if I'm wrong here, don't you get just somebody who's a lousy player or a third-string player to go in and hit
hockey goons? They want hockey goons in the NFL.
So don't you just have some guy go in and head target Ezekiel Elliott or Dak Prescott or some big star player,
knock him out of the game,
knowing that you'll get the team pays your fine, they're out of the game for their own good.
Ooh.
What else is on your list? What do you?
The other thing on my list is that catch no catch rule.
Bingo.
Yeah,
that's number 2. A lot of the owners, and in fact, a lot of league officials think they need to start from scratch with that rule.
Ooh,
but number 1 on their list, Parky, what is it?
Ratings.
Falling ratings. More on this just a bit later. 729, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Here's Ruben.
Just received reports of a minor accident on Terry Bradshaw Passway eastbound near Joella Avenue. And we have some traffic delays on Westgate Drive near Barksdale Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today we'll have cloudy skies. We'll also have an afternoon shower, high about 49. Rain at times with clouds and a low of 44 tonight. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
Power of information. KEEL News now.
General Dynamics announcing it plans to buy out CSRA. The acquisition expected to be complete by the first half of this year. The CEO for General Dynamics says the company plans to take full advantage of the Bossier CSRA and its employees, and says the two companies combining will benefit everyone involved. A special needs bus involved in a crash. Matt Parker with that.
A Caddo school bus carrying special needs students was involved in an accident Monday afternoon. The wreck happened just before 3 p.m. at Erie and Strathmore. The 5 special needs students were unharmed in the crash. An elderly woman driving one of the other cars complained of chest pains following the accident. A full report of the wreck is being made, and the bus driver will have to submit to drug and alcohol screenings as required by law. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Caddo schools need bus drivers. Virgin Rochelle, the acting transportation director, says the parish would like to hire 30 new substitute bus drivers with the possibility of becoming full-time parish employees. Dorothy Edwards arrested for allegedly stealing the identity of an infirmed woman she was caring for. Edwards allegedly took the 65-year-old woman's identity to steal more than $20,000. The governor has called lawmakers into special session beginning on Monday Stephen Wagasback with the Louisiana Association of Business and Industry tells KEEL News several proposals will be discussed.
A lot of revenue raising was on that call, but there were some things to help reduce the size and scope of government. There's things to reform Medicaid. There's things to put some transparency on there. There's things to put a spending cap on there. So there's opportunities for there to be a decent mix in this special session.
But Wagasback says it's unclear at this point which faction will drive the train during the session. Eugene Thomas Jr. arrested after he fired several shots at his family and at a police officer in Baton Rouge. The officer, who has not yet been named, suffered serious but not life-threatening wounds. Chief Murphy Paul of Baton Rouge asked for the senseless violence to end.
It's this culture of violence. You know, the victims in this case, like you say, are his family members, and they are cooperating. And to speak with the victim, in this case his mother, it's emotional for the family. But this culture of violence in the city, it has to stop.
Thomas has been charged with attempted first-degree murder of a police officer, and a felon in possession of a firearm. The federal government has declared this year's flu season as the worst breakout since the 2009 swine flu epidemic. State Health Secretary Dr. Rebecca Gee says if you're holding out on getting your flu shot because of vaccine-related rumors, you're making a big mistake. President Trump has made bringing down drug costs a top priority, but his administration's plan would create some winners and losers. Under the budget, Medicare beneficiaries would face higher prescription drug costs, even as the sickest patients save money. Children's Parade rolling tonight, Pierre Bossier Mall, 6:30 as we celebrate Mardi Gras. Shrevetown Walking Parade kicks off at Municipal Auditorium at 7 p.m. And an Ohio woman has been reunited with her wedding dress 32 years after it went missing in a dry cleaning mix-up. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
I almost said 10107, which is like a zip code, 71115, 1017.
Oh, man, you're mixing me up.
Well, no, I'm, and we're getting ready to have a time change too here soon.
Are we?
Well, the next couple of months.
Is it March?
Yeah, it's almost
Is that when
March.
we get it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I know. You'll be gone for like 3 days. You'll be like Fletcher. 1017 FM, 710 KEEL, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Okay, so we talked about the things that the NFL ownership have to deal with, the owners have to deal with in the meetings.
Yeah.
Now, follow me on this. During Mondays, this was on Fox Sports, Eagles defensive end Chris Long shrugged off the NFL's ratings drop, that being attributed to players like teammates Malcolm Jenkins protesting the national anthem. Long said, quoting now, "A lot of people are having more fun watching football than ever, and players putting their social consciences over the league's success. I'm not sure this is true." Sorry, that was Long went on to say, while there are a lot of studies showing that the ratings are down, I would say a lot of people are having more fun watching football than ever. But at the end of the day, Long said, I think what you're seeing is a bunch of guys that care more about their social conscience or standing up for things they believe in over ratings and the bottom line dollar. Do they? I mean, what are they? If you're playing in the NFL and you got a contract, you're getting paid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If as a result of your actions on the field, you've got your money, but if because of your actions during the national anthem or whatever, are causing ratings to go down, you're kind of screwing the next generation of players.
Kind of are, yeah.
Okay, so if the vast majority of players that are protesting the national anthem are black, and they're already making pretty good money, 70% of the players in the NFL are black, and mostly come from disadvantaged backgrounds. So the protesters, i.e. the vast majority of them being black players, they're taking money away from future players, i.e. disadvantaged black kids. The very people that they say they're helping by their social protest.
Because ratings are down, and that means money's going to be down.
And they've got the money in their pockets. They're costing future players.
That's an interesting point.
Is that one of my tinfoil hat, way too circuitous highway cloverleaf logic things?
I think it's too soon to say if this NFL ratings drop is going to continue. Will it bounce back? Will it continue to decline?
Listen, and he and I agree on this. No, it will never bounce back, but not because of that.
Yeah, there is no television show that's going to have a high rating number anymore. Because guess what? You watch the Olympics, you can watch it online. You can watch it in 100 different places. Only one of those places count towards the ratings, broadcast television.
Mm-hmm.
So ratings dropping, 1% of the people of the NFL audience actually watch NFL games, the people that are protesting.
And more and more people, more and more folks under the age of 30 are watching highlight package. They don't watch the games. What did I say a month ago? Football is the new baseball. It's just too boring for this generation.
I watch it in high speed now.
Then you're killing the NFL.
What the NFL needs to do is get on, they've kind of dipped their toe on the social platforms like being on YouTube and, broadcasting games on Amazon Prime. They need to go all in. One Thursday night game a week is not doing it. If they want to get, more eyeballs on their product, they got to be everywhere.
1017 FM, 710 KEEL, 739. So how did the city council meeting go for old McCarty yesterday? Was she approved? Did they drill? Did they grill? Was there an inquisition into her qualifications
we gotta talk about this again?
To be on this A&E committee.
Oh, my.
Well, especially given the email that you got in the last hour or so.
Mm-hmm.
Hold your horses. Right now, traffic update. Here's Ruben, and he's on KEEL.
Just received reports of a minor accident on Terry Bradshaw Passway eastbound near Joella Avenue. And we have some traffic delays on Westgate Drive near Barksdale Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today we'll have cloudy skies. We'll also have an afternoon shower, high about 49. Rain at times with clouds and a low of 44 tonight. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
I mean, NFL guys are going, well, I got mine. They're just not thinking it through. They're not helping the next guy. They're costing the next guy.
Yes.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, 743. Okay.
I still watch my NFL, though.
So what happened at the city council meeting? You for phase 1 of your confirmation onto the highly controversial, and boy, are you ever, you and the committee, both the I'll say agricultural, it's Texas. She's on the Texas A&M committee, the architectural and engineering committee for the city.
I was before the city council yesterday for the preliminary
was it grilling?
Blessing.
Did people stand up and say bad things about you?
No, they did not.
Did they
were
question
they were for the most part pleasant.
Did they question your competence? Did
they to a certain degree, a
question
little
your
bit.
Qualifications.
Asked about my qualifications because in what I do publicly, what you see and hear, you don't see or any of the other things I do outside of what I do here in the radio business.
So they just figured you were some
yoo-haw that
shallow radio yoo-haw similar to myself.
Yeah, just 2 yoo-haws in the morning.
Oh,
That's
okay.
a good promo. 2 yoo-haws in the morning.
Yeah,
I like that.
I don't embrace
but
it.
But I'm more than just a yoo-haw. I have more. There's deeper yoo-haw to me, and I do more things than just yoo-haw. So I kind of explained a little bit about my background and my involvement in the community.
What did you tell them?
I told them that, obviously, I'm the brand manager of this radio station and have been for many years, planning and promotions and, all the stuff that you do with regard to running a radio station. And then I have a lot of community involvement on finance committees. I've been, budget committees for lots of groups. I'm a nerdy nickel and dime gal. I really am. I'm a penny pincher. I'm cheapskate to the nth. I didn't seek out this position. I mean, people that are asking me, why do you want? I didn't go and say, Mayor, I want to be on. No, she came to me and asked if I would. She said, I need people with integrity who will do the right thing. And I said, well, I'm interested. I'd be honored to serve if that's what you and the city council wants. That's where we are. I've been given lots of cautions.
Was there, what I said to you yesterday, over the weekend, it was said by one local media person that if you take the position, it shows you're corrupt. Mm-hmm. You were told by an elected official, who shall remain nameless, that you shouldn't take the position because you're not corrupt enough. How did you react to that?
You know what?
Where you get two sides of, total opposites regarding the same thing.
I'm going to be honest with you, Robert, and I haven't told you this, but you know me. I've prayed about it, and I thought, is this the right thing for the city I love? And can I still do my job on the radio and maintain objectivity and still do this job on the A&E committee, which is a volunteer position? I'm not making any money.
Are you surprised?
I'm just doing it to help.
Are you surprised by the number of people that immediately assume that by taking the position or that by being discussed for the position that you automatically are corrupt? That you automatically are in it for a free kitchen or God knows what.
Yeah, and for the most part, there's a bunch of these snowflakes who they're going to whine about anything. They could have put Mother Teresa on the A&E committee, and it would have been corrupt because God knows we don't want a Catholic. It doesn't matter who she would have picked for this committee. There would have been somebody shouting, oh, that's not the right person. And I get that, and I'm fine with that. But my deal is, and this is between me and Town Square Media, to be honest, it's really not. I think the people that lead this city, the powers that be, know I'm on. They know I'm honest. They know I have integrity. They know I'm not corrupt. The issue is, can I still do what I do on the radio, criticizing the administration when I think it's needed, patting them on the back when I think it's needed, and still, committee's not going to impact my job. Maybe you just heard our interview with the Broadmoor Neighborhood Association.
Let me clarify.
Pretty critical of the mayor.
Let me clarify something. It's not as though when the mayor asked you if you would take this position, that you went to Town Square Media, our parent company, or any manager above you here, and said, can I do this, waiting for their imprimatur, their approval. You said, I'm going to do this, and they went, okay. It's not
No, I asked. I asked my direct supervisor. Absolutely did. I said, are you okay with this?
Yeah.
They absolutely said, sure.
But it's not like...
And we discussed it.
It's not as though you anticipated them cutting you off at the knees.
Oh, no, I didn't anticipate them. And I've talked since, with our manager, and she said, the people that think this committee is going to impact your job, just remember they don't know you. Those are the people that truly don't know you.
So what happens next?
2 weeks, I go back before the city council for confirmation or rejection or whatever it is, and then move on to the next meeting and get started to work. And it's a lot of reading, a lot of binders, and, I'm excited to help. And you know what? If someone were to come to me from City Hall, whether it be the mayor, I don't care who, and said, we really should pick this contractor because, we really need to look at this. This one's probably the best. My eyes are going to be wide open, and I'm going to want to know, why do we want to pick this company all of a sudden, and you're pushing this on me? Do you know what my parents called me when I was little?
I hate to think.
I probably have never told you this.
Uh-oh.
We're going to run into this, aren't we? They called me a codamundi.
I don't know what that is.
Which is a kind of a form of an anteater with a long nose, sticking your nose in everything. I was the one child of all the 6 kids who put my nose in everything in the house and dug pots and pans out and went after everything. I'm the nosiest human being on earth.
I knew that about you.
Yeah.
749, 1017 FM, 710 KEEL traffic update right now. Here's Ruben.
The intersection at Line Avenue and East 70th Street's dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD. Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687.
I'm Jennifer Kashika with your Money Now.
It is 8 before 8 o'clock, 1017 FM, 710 KEEL, time for sports. Here's Tim.
Good morning from the sports desk of 11.
You or members of your association, given the...
And, to protect myself, we have a police department whose job is to enforce the laws, and I think we're having a breakdown is that as they catch people and they go through the judicial system, I think that's where the ball, and I think we're having a breakdown is that as they catch people and they go through the judicial system, I think that's where the ball is being dropped. You have people with rap sheets that have 15, 20, and I think we're having a breakdown is that as they catch people and they go through the judicial system, are, I think that's where the ball is being dropped. I think they want. Until we get this situation under control, they need to increase patrols, especially at night. I mean, let's target the time and the places that these are happening. Captain Shreve neighborhood, which adjoins us, has had. I think they want to say that until we get this situation under control, they need to increase patrols, especially at night. I mean, let's target the time and the places that these are happening. Well, the police come to every one of our meetings.
.101.7 FM 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. CSRA stock went up yesterday from about, I noticed it went up like
I have it?
31%. It went up to like, it increased by $9 and something a share.
It's been purchased by General Dynamics, almost $7 billion, I think is the price tag.
Explain to me, Matt, you had some amazing numbers about their total gross business they did.
I don't have it in front of me, but basically CSRA, raked in like $6 billion last year.
Pretty big company.
Pretty good revenue stream.
Not a bad number.
But the Dynamics company, General Dynamics, who's buying them, raked in like $32 billion.
I've got an idea, because a lot of people are worried, are they going to move CSRA out of town? I mean, it's a brand new facility. But I'm thinking, let's get General Dynamics here. We got this big place out west of town.
Yeah.
It's called General something.
General Motors.
You won't even have to change the first name on the building.
No, I'm not sure you want
Just
GD
take
on
the
a building,
motors.
but that's another story.
Just take the motors down and put Dynamics up there.
Yeah.
And, man, it would fit in really well right here next to the freeway.
Or turn it into a casino, but that's just me.
Oh, I'm liking that idea, too.
By the way, in the 8 o'clock hour, we need to talk a little bit more about not necessarily the possibility of Diamond Jacks moving south.
Okay.
But the odd way that we in Louisiana seem to do things.
Yeah.
Legislatively, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Because, look, we don't have time right now. I apologize.
Right.
But the just weird things that have to happen for Diamond Jacks to go to Tangipahoa Parish.
Right.
Which includes declaring a river, the Tangipahoa River, that's about as wide as my hand, a navigable waterway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's my bathtub holds more water than that.
Right.
We'll talk about this after 8
I
o'clock.
also have a Lenten idea that I'm a little concerned might be sacrilegious.
Did you bring this up before?
Yeah.
It's a bad idea.
Is it?
Just drop it.
I'm liking it.
756, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Sean Hannity.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
All right, the Destroy Trump fake news media Democrats, they've done their best to misinform you, the American people, of course, over a year, breathlessly, hysterically, obsessively telling you that then candidate Donald Trump colluded with Russia to win the 2016 election. There's a new poll out showing that you, the American people, see right through this. Breitbart reported the Investors Business Daily tip poll shows 55% of Americans believe it's likely the Obama administration spied on Donald Trump's campaign. And furthermore, a majority, 54%, want to see a special counsel appointed to investigate, quote, whether the FBI and DOJ improperly surveilled the Trump campaign. So despite the best efforts of your fake news media, you, the American people, have proven, well, that you don't believe the whole fake news networks out there, do you?
Check out the Sean Hannity Radio Show later today, right here.
Hiring is important. People are what make your business work. But how do you find the right talent? ZipRecruiter makes it simple. One click sends your job ad to over 100 of the web's leading job boards. But ZipRecruiter doesn't stop there. Their smart matching technology will instantly alert quality candidates about your job. That means you'll start getting great candidates with the right experience almost as soon as your job is posted. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. The right candidates are out there. This is how you find them. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
People from businesses of all sizes trust ZipRecruiter for their hiring needs. We're so confident ZipRecruiter will get you better results than anywhere else. We'll let you try it free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
1017 FM and 710 KEEL, the place to get in-depth coverage of the stories that matter.
This is Shreveport City Councilman Jeff Everson, and I love listening to Robert and Erin in the morning. They keep our community knowing about the important decisions that are being made, and they're a lot of fun to listen to.
We are KEEL, 1017 FM and 710 KEEL.
The intersection at Line Avenue and East 70th Street is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Cloudy today, a shower this afternoon with a high of 49. Mostly cloudy with rain at times tonight, low 44. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 1017 FM and 710 KEEL. KEEL, Shreveport.
Good morning. It's 8:03. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Down yonder, Miss Erin has local news, and that is up next.
Big business news for Bossier. We'll tell you more about that. Many people still reporting flu-like symptoms, but some of the numbers are dropping off just a bit. And would you believe it? A replica of the Shroud of Turin is coming to town?
We keep getting these texts. We keep getting emails about you and the city council thing and the A&E committee.
Here we go again.
Look,
it's not that big a deal.
Except for the people who think that you're either the most corrupt human being in the world.
They don't know me.
Or the most noble. They don't know you either.
Hey.
Fletcher and
yeah,
Sports.
they do.
I'm sorry. Who said that? Fletcher and Sports, traffic and weather. It's all coming up this hour, and it's right here on Keel.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
CSRA gets bought out. Matt Parker with the details.
General Dynamics has announced that it plans to buy out CSRA. The acquisition of the company is expected to be complete by the first half of this year. Phoebe Novakovic, CEO for General Dynamics, says the company plans to take full advantage of the Bossier CSRA and its employees, and says the two companies combining will benefit everyone involved. From 101.7 FM and 710 Keel, I'm Matt Parker.
Many people still reporting flu-like symptoms in Louisiana, but the state health department seeing a glimmer of hope. After peaking toward the end of last year, flu bug expert Dr. Frank Welch says they're seeing fewer people at doctors' offices suffering from the flu.
We were up to 11% 2 weeks ago. So it seems like we're on the downward trend, but still 8.5 per 100 is really, really a lot of flu.
The governor has called lawmakers into special session beginning Monday. Stephen Wagasback with the Louisiana Association of Business and Industry telling KEEL News he hopes this is done openly.
Why go into a dark room and try to cut some secret deal on taxes? I say, look, everyone introduce your bills. Let's start holding hearings. Let's go have the public input. Let's have public testimony. And let's let the best idea win. I think that's a more transparent and open approach.
Wagasback says we don't know yet who's going to drive the bus during the special session because no one is stepping up to take control of things. A Caddo Parish school bus carrying special needs students was involved in a traffic accident. It happened just before 3 in the afternoon. A car and a truck hauling heavy equipment were all involved in the crash near Ury and Stratmore. No one hurt. St. John Berkman's in Shreveport will display a life-size replica of the Shroud of Turin. The shroud will be the centerpiece of a special public exhibit at the church. The original shroud is one of the most studied artifacts in human history. The display featuring the replica will begin March 17th. A Baton Rouge police officer wounded in a shooting Sunday night. Now 34-year-old Eugene Thomas Jr. arrested after he fired shots at his family and the officer. Chief Murphy Paul says he did check in on the wounded officer.
He's in good spirits. Obviously, it's an emotional event for him and his family, so we're going to ask you to keep them in your prayers in this healing time and time of recovery.
The chief says the suspect has a criminal history and a history of mental health issues. Caddo schools need bus drivers. Virgil Rochelle, the acting transportation director, says the parish would like to hire 30 new substitute drivers with the possibility of becoming full-time parish employees. Dorothy Edwards arrested for allegedly stealing the identity of an infirmed woman she was caring for. Edwards allegedly took the 65-year-old woman's identity to steal more than $20,000. Few fiscal conservatives are cheering the release of President Trump's $4 trillion-plus budget, which would create trillions in red ink over the next decade if adopted by Congress. Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser celebrating Mardi Gras, but he's not in the state. He's helping to promote Louisiana's new travel slogan, Louisiana, Feed Your Soul. The new brand is being promoted in several states, including the nation's capital.
I'll be in Washington, D.C. with a food truck passing out king cake and attracting local and national media. Also a time for us to promote Mardi Gras around the country and around the world.
And Mardi Gras parades locally this evening. The Children's Parade rolling at 6:30 at Pierre Bossier Mall. There's a Shrevetown walking parade beginning at Municipal Auditorium at 7 p.m. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Nine past 8 o'clock. It's 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Time for traffic. Yo, Ruben.
Starting to see some slow-moving traffic on Texas Street in downtown Shreveport, and we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Old Minden Road in Bossier City. If you have any accidents, hazards, or closures to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today we'll have cloudy skies. We'll also have an afternoon shower, high about 49. Rain at times with clouds and a low of 44 tonight. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
Twelve past 8 o'clock. Robert J. Wright, Erin McCarty, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. The KEEL app's a free download. Yo, office furniture source. Thank you. Just a quick note here, proving that there is no topic that a lawmaker, that someone in an elected position will not demagogue for the chance to look like they're, to use Matt's recent lexicon, a white knight out to protect you. Did you see this headline? Lawmakers push to make Tide Pods less appetizing.
I saw this. Yes.
Bright colored detergent pods look like candy, say lawmakers, as they look to pass legislation to make Tide Pods less appetizing.
Holy moly.
I
guess Cascade pods, too, are going to be changing.
I don't know. What are we going to make them? Little, like, brown?
Yeah.
And that way they'd only be eaten by if the Eagles win the Super Bowl. I'm just fascinated by that. Look, I do not understand this about me. I do not, as a 65-year-old man, have any part of me that looks at childhood or children from an adult's point of view, in the sense that I am not married and I don't have kids.
Right.
So the only frame of reference I have as a child is that of a 5-year-old. You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
Or a 6-year-old or a 10-year-old or whatever.
And you would have never done that.
I don't have your maternal perspective.
Right.
No, I can tell you right now as a 5-year. Remember the Superman story?
Mm-hmm.
My mother, I'm about 5 years old, and we're at breakfast one morning, and my dad is looking at the paper. And he reads this article, and he says to my mom out of the blue, he goes, "You know, I don't think Bob ought to be watching Superman on TV anymore." And my mother says, like, "What are you talking about?" And he shows her this article, and it was like the Dallas Morning News, and there was this guy, this little kid in Dallas, who, my age, who put a dish towel around his neck like a cape and jumped off the garage because he'd been watching Superman. He thought he could fly, and he broke both his legs.
Oh.
And he shows this to my mother. And my mother stands up. I will never forget this. I'm 5. She gets up from her chair, which is the difference from distance, me to Matt, 2.5 or 3 feet.
Yeah.
And she gets up and she walks over and puts her face this far, 6 inches from his. And she says, "Don't you think he knows the difference between what's real and what's not?" Now you tell me, at the age of 5, there is no way.
No.
Don't eat soap.
Yeah, and I'm not jumping off the roof.
Exactly.
Right.
I knew at the age of 5 that you shouldn't eat soap. Okay?
Yeah. But you have teenagers doing this. You have people, college kids doing this for some sort of
Then no matter
challenge.
what you put on them,
Yeah.
if you've got college kids, washing
They're
them,
gonna do it no matter
washing
what.
them down like Chalk's vitamins with beer.
Right, yeah.
Making them look any way
Making
than
Jaeger bombs out of them or something.
Exactly. But when your kids were 5,
no, they weren't going to eat soap. They weren't going to jump off the roof. They had common sense.
my point exactly.
Look, every kid does stupid stuff, whether it's putting random things in their mouth, playing with electrical wires,
sticking your finger in a torch.
I mean, kids just do dumb things.
Hold on.
We all had Chucky Websters in our lives.
Hold on, brain damage boy. So you're saying that, in your opinion, the vast majority of 5-year-olds put strange things in their mouth or play with electrical wires?
I'm just saying every kid does something stupid, and no matter what color you make it or how glowing or bright, the people are just going to do stupid stuff no matter what.
So basically, you and I are on the same page here.
Yes.
Okay, that was all I was saying.
Yeah, there's just not. This is not going to help.
We'll come back.
Changing the Tide Pods.
Speaking of doing stupid things.
Why is he looking at you, Matt?
Did you write your apology to?
Oh, I'm working on it. I'm working on my apology to the governor.
Okay, when
we did it on the air yesterday.
We'll go to break early.
Okay.
We still have the soundbite.
Yeah.
And we'll play that again if anybody missed it, because I don't see how anybody could have. We played it a lot of times.
Yeah.
But it brings me such joy.
You still got to talk about the Tangipahoa River, too.
We've got lots to talk about this hour. And one more quick segment on Erin's Day at the City Council yesterday, and the people that this seems to anger.
Gosh.
And the people who have such a cynical, and maybe, well, don't you know Shreveport?
Yeah.
Such a cynical, that because you exist, you are corrupt.
Yeah.
That's the way they're looking at you.
I got a great text just now. Read it to you in a minute from a local leader.
Plenty to do, and only a few minutes to do it in.
Unbelievable, I know.
18 past 8 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL traffic and weather, and Fletcher and Sports up next.
There will always be a convenient location.
1017 FM, 710 Keel traffic update. Yo, Ruben, what you got, kid?
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on Hearn Avenue near Milam Street, and we have some traffic delays on Shed Road near Airline Drive in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, accidents, hazards, or closures, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today we'll have cloudy skies. We'll also have an afternoon shower, high about 49. Rain at times with clouds and a low of 44 tonight. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire.
1017 FM, 710 Keel. Don't forget about the Keel app. Sports time. Here's Struggling Tim.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Wasn't a very good night for local soccer teams as every team that traveled south came home with a loss and out of the postseason. Loyola, the top seed in their division, knocked off by the Academy of Sacred Heart 2-0. Bird was shut out at Santamont 1-0. And North DeSoto was handed an 8-0 loss by Vanderbilt Catholic. There was some good news in Division II. Two local squads squared off at Lee Hedges last night, and Caddo Magnet blanked Parkway 2-0 to advance to the semifinals. In college basketball action, Grambling ran their winning streak to 10 games with a 78-55 win over Southern to gain first place in the SWAC all to themselves. They are now 10-3 in SWAC action. Tonight in the SEC, LSU travels to Alabama. Both teams coming off wins. Alabama absolutely destroyed 15th-ranked Tennessee last Saturday. In the NBA, the New Orleans Pelicans won for the second game in a row, 118-103 over Detroit. Anthony Davis, 38 points, 10 rebounds. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
See, that's kind of what Tide needs to do. We were just talking about Babe Ruth during the break, and Erin looks up and she finds this like $900,000 Babe Ruth baseball card from
1914.
And I'm thinking,
his rookie card.
And the point being, in that era, in that time, 1017 FM, 710 Keel, in the early part of the 20th century, baseball cards came with like cigarettes and chewing tobacco and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if Tide really want, they need to put baseball cards on the back of Tide Pods.
I like that idea.
I think it would be a great idea. Hey, kids, just in time.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so a couple of days ago, let me see, today's Tuesday, it was Friday when we had State Representative Dodie Horton from Houghton on. I got it right that time.
Yeah.
Dodie Horton from Horton.
I love that book.
I do too. It has a ring to it. And in the midst, well, not even in the midst, right at the very beginning. Do you have that ready? Do you have that still on the?
Oh yeah, I do.
Okay,
Oh,
this is when we were first talking with Dodie on Friday, Miss Dodie on Friday, and we were talking about John Bell, Governor John Bell Edwards, and the supposed $600 million in cuts that he says he's sticking to it. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. $600 million in cuts. And so you started to ask Miss Dodie about that, and here's basically how it went, where the phrase moron, the word in question was uttered by, well, by you.
Yeah. Several of them are one-time cuts that don't yield permanent long-term savings, and some of the other cuts have been counted twice. Does he think you're a moron?
Yes, ma'am. A moron.
Really? Or is he a moron?
I wouldn't call my governor any names,
Wow. Okay, so evidently...
I didn't really call him a moron. I asked if he was a moron.
Uh-huh.
Is there a difference?
Let me ask you something.
I'm trying to write my apology.
Let me ask you something. Mom, if you got a call from the principal one day at school,
yeah,
and the principal called and said, your son called his teacher a moron.
Ooh.
And you asked your son, did you call the teacher a moron? He said, well, Mom, what I said was, is she a moron?
Is she a moron?
Would you accept that as an excuse?
No.
You know, like my old Italian grandfather. What are you, some kind of moron?
So,
ask a question.
Would you accept that as, well, I understand now.
No.
Okay, so
no,
somehow...
it's not acceptable.
Somehow those in the Edwards administration caught wind of this utterance on your part.
And they listened to the interview. And
they gave you a call.
They gave me a call and said they didn't think it was appropriate for me to call the governor a moron.
Did you say, but you don't understand? It was an interrogative.
I said it was the heat of... I didn't know what the comment was at the time. They called me over the weekend. But I did say that was probably heat of the moment and all that. And yesterday I did apologize on the radio, and now I'm writing an email apology, and I'm putting in the subject line apology. I'm just going to say what it is, apology.
So are you going to use my logic, or are you going to take my advice and say that it was the heat of the moment, that you were all worked up because of this budget thing, and that if he didn't stick to this $600 million cut claim...
No, I'm not getting into all that.
Erin, come off the rails, McCarty.
No.
You made me crazy, John Bell. You made me crazy.
No, I'm not getting into all that. I'm just going to say I issued an apology on the radio, but I wanted to send you an email so you can let the governor know I sincerely apologize for inferring that he's a moron. Implying. That was disrespectful, and I shouldn't have done it.
See, you implied he was a moron. He inferred you called him a moron.
Yeah.
And he wasn't wrong.
No.
Oh, so I'm trying to write the apology where it reads nice. And...
Read to us what you have so
Okay.
far.
It says the subject line, it says, Dear blah, blah, blah.
I'm sorry,
The
who?
subject line says apology.
Are you sending this to his press people, or
yeah, his head communications
or
person.
to the governor himself?
No, she'll get it to him. Okay. His subject line says apology. I did apologize on the radio, but I wanted to send you a note. And that's where I am right now. But I wanted to send you a note.
This is 2 days worth of work right here, boys.
This has been hard. It needs more work, doesn't it? It needs more work.
Maybe by the weekend you'll have it fleshed out.
Evidently, in your list of priorities, this is not. This is 1A.
I've been a little busy lately.
Yeah.
I did offer an apology on the radio, but I wanted to send you a note. Help me out here. Come on.
I think that's perfect.
Hook a brother up.
I think that's perfect. I don't know if you remember this. I know you know who Reggie Jackson is.
Of course.
And in his time with the Yankees, Reggie was the star. Reggie was the guy. He was the man. He was the hub. Do you know how Reggie Jackson used to refer to himself with the press? Do you remember, Matt?
No.
He would say, I am the straw that stirs the drink. That was how
stirs the drink.
That was how Reggie would refer to himself with the press, with the media, with other teammates, with Yankees management, so that they understood, I'm the guy, okay? I am the man. What I do matters, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You, Erin McCarty, in the last week to 10 days, you have become the KEEL Morning Show straw that stirs the drink. And your initial response is to shrink from it somewhat. And to kind of, I'm not sure I like the being in the spotlight. But you know what? You are.
Yeah.
You have become the straw that stirs the drink. So now you got to ask yourself, would Reggie Jackson apologize? Or would Reggie Jackson say, yep, said it?
No, it's disrespectful. It really is. It's just like you said with my child. I wouldn't want my child to call the teacher a moron.
You look very pensive.
Well, Reggie was Mr. October. I'm just trying to think, was she's Miss...
Well, she's Miss October because that's about the time that email's going to be complete. 28 past
I
8
did
o'clock,
know
1017 FM, 710 Keel. Robert J.
morning.
Wright and Erin McCarty. Traffic, weather, and Erin has local news. How you doing down there?
I want to send you this note. Dot.
F.
I
Scott
got dots
Fitzgerald
on
wrote
there.
faster than you. Traffic and weather, and Erin has local news up next on Keel. Twenty-nine past 8 o'clock, Keel traffic time.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on Hearn Avenue near Milam Street, and we have some traffic delays on Shed Road near Airline Drive in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, accidents, hazards, or closures, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Cloudy today. A shower this afternoon with a high of 49. Mostly cloudy with rain at times tonight, low 44. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire.
The power of information. Keel News now.
General Dynamics announcing it plans to buy out CSRA. The acquisition expected to be complete by the first half of this year. The CEO for General Dynamics says the company plans to take full advantage of the Bossier CSRA and its employees, and says the two companies combining will benefit everyone involved. A special needs bus involved in a crash. Matt Parker with that.
A Caddo school bus carrying special needs students was involved in an accident Monday afternoon. The wreck happened just before 3 p.m. at Erie and Strathmore. The 5 special needs students were unharmed in the crash. An elderly woman driving one of the other cars complained of chest pains following the accident. A full report of the wreck is being made, and the bus driver will have to submit to drug and alcohol screenings as required by law. From 1017 FM and 710 Keel, I'm Matt Parker.
Caddo schools need bus drivers. Virgin Rochelle, the acting transportation director, says the parish would like to hire 30 new substitute bus drivers with the possibility of becoming full-time parish employees. Dorothy Edwards arrested for allegedly stealing the identity of an infirmed woman she was caring for. Edwards allegedly took the 65-year-old woman's identity to steal more than $20,000. The governor has called lawmakers into special session beginning on Monday. Stephen Wagasback with the Louisiana Association of Business and Industry tells Keel News several proposals will be discussed.
A lot of revenue raising was on that call, but there were some things to help reduce the size and scope of government. There's things to reform Medicaid. There's things to put some transparency on there. There's things to put a spending cap on there. So there's opportunities for there to be a decent mix in this special session.
But Wagasback says it's unclear at this point which faction will drive the train during the session. Eugene Thomas Jr. arrested after he fired several shots at his family and at a police officer in Baton Rouge. The officer, who has not yet been named, suffered serious but not life-threatening wounds. Chief Murphy Paul of Baton Rouge asked for the senseless violence to end.
It's this culture of violence. You know, the victims in this case, like you say, are his family members, and they are cooperating. And to speak with the victim, in this case his mother, it's emotional for the family. But this culture of violence in the city, it has to stop.
Thomas has been charged with attempted first-degree murder of a police officer, and a felon in possession of a firearm. The federal government has declared this year's flu season as the worst breakout since the 2009 swine flu epidemic. State Health Secretary Dr. Rebecca Gee says if you're holding out on getting your flu shot because of vaccine-related rumors, you're making a big mistake. President Trump has made bringing down drug costs a top priority, but his administration's plan would create some winners and losers. Under the budget, Medicare beneficiaries would face higher prescription drug costs, even as the sickest patients save money. Children's Parade rolling tonight, Pierre Bossier Mall, 6:30 as we celebrate Mardi Gras. Shrevetown Walking Parade kicks off at Municipal Auditorium at 7 p.m. And an Ohio woman has been reunited with her wedding dress 32 years after it went missing in a dry cleaning mix-up. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
I'm Nick Soboleski.
.834, Robert J. Wright, Erin McCarty, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. The news story last week was that Diamond Jacks in Bossier City may float down south, end up in Tangipahoa Parish.
Well, they wouldn't need to float anything.
Okay, so here's the deal. Well, here's where I said that Louisiana legislatively seems a little weird, and I want you to correct me. I hope that my perception of the steps that Diamond Jacks and or what is it? Not Penthouse Gaming, Plentiful Gaming,
Pinnacle
Gaming. I knew it was something with a P.
Penthouse.
It's it's the point being that I want you to correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so if Diamond Jacks wants to move south to Tangipahoa Parish and put the boat, bear with me, on the Tangipahoa River, the following has to take place, okay? First of all, the way I understand this, the Tangipahoa River, which is, it is not a navigable waterway. Is that fair?
Not really, no.
Okay.
If you're in a tube.
So it has to be declared by the legislature a navigable waterway. Fair? Because only navigable waterways can have casinos, i.e. casino boats.
You
right?
can get a boat in the river and go up and down.
Hold on just a second. This doesn't matter. This is where we get weird. Okay? Because the amendment, the change that the legislature is considering is to let casinos build land-based, let boat-owning, the casino boats, build a land-based casino if it's within 1,200 feet of your current boat site.
Right.
Right? Okay, so here's what's weird. So, to move their boat, Diamond Jacks, down to Tangipahoa Parish, the following has to take place. The river, the Tangipahoa River, which is about as wide as your bathtub, has to be declared a navigable waterway because only the boat... See, here's where I get confused. A navigable waterway, but they don't have to put a boat on it. They just have to have a site where the boat might go.
Right.
So that then they can build their land-based casino within 1,200 feet
of that waterway.
Of where they don't have to have a boat.
Right.
What?
Right.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, imagine...
And the boat could stay here.
Well, imagine for the moment. See, I mean, okay, we have to declare that you have to say you want a boat, but you don't have to have a boat. It's an invisible boat. It's the Harvey of boats.
Right.
Okay? I see the boat. Yeah, so do I.
It's a non-boat.
Here's the deal. As the gaming industry, specifically in this part of the state, looks to save itself and to resume its rightful, in my mind, position as one of the top gaming sites in America, gaming destinations. Right now, as we've talked about with Ronnie Jones, Gaming Commission, everybody else, that those boats, those mega casinos, rather, those $500,000 mega casinos in Oklahoma are kind of kicking our ass.
They're killing us.
Okay, so here's the point. If we are going to compete with them, and I truly think we should, and the change you're going to make to compete is land-based casinos, but within 1,200 feet of your current site. Who has room within 1,200 feet of their current site anywhere? Horseshoe? Margaritaville? Maybe.
Yeah.
Diamond Jackson, El Dorado? No chance. How is that helping the gaming industry in Shreveport and Bossier City? It's not.
It's not.
You know what? As I've said, in fact, Mike Middleton said it first. I hope he doesn't mind me mentioning his name. General Motors plant. There's a casino, my friend.
Ooh.
Look at all that open land down there south by the port.
Yeah.
The new casino area.
There's a ditch over there by the GM plant. Let's name it Navigable.
The problem is, what do we do with the hotels?
Yeah.
We have sort of, because of the current rules, the current laws, we're kind of painted into a corner that it's going to be a difficult one, a tough one to overcome.
I smell a new Bossier Civic Center.
I'm just saying, we're in a tough spot. And I'm not sure anybody is really addressing the real needs for our casino industry in this town or towns to dig ourselves out of it.
You're right.
8:39, it's 101.7 FM, 710 Keel traffic update. Here's Ruben.
The intersection at Greenwood Road and Juella Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Texas Street in downtown Shreveport. If you have any accidents, hazards, or closures to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today we'll have cloudy skies. We'll also have an afternoon shower, high about 49. Rain at times with clouds and a low of 44 tonight. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire.
.842, it's 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. I'm not sure I should ask this on the air, but the idea that we discussed last hour, or last, are you thinking about it?
I'm thinking about it. Yeah, what I could do for Lent?
No.
That?
No, the guest we were talking about.
Oh, that. Oh,
Maybe.
my bad.
Still open for discussion?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I'm kind of open.
Erin went to the city council yesterday, sat there while people chewed her up and spat her out.
No, they did not.
What did they say?
They were very pleasant
Did
for
they
the
ask
most
you,
part.
Did they ask you questions, or did they sort
just
of
kind of pontificated?
Were they sort of rhetorical?
Yeah.
And were the questions were these putting you on a pedestal, saying this is the woman for this job on the architectural and engineering committee?
No.
This is the woman we need, or did they stand up and say, yeah,
she's a moron?
I don't know.
No, they didn't do that either.
I don't know her very well, but I can't imagine being just a radio yahoo like you referred to yourself.
No,
just some radio, just, hey, everybody, just shotgun Erin McCarty. That just some radio, caller number 9, you win a T-shirt radio person.
No, they gave me a few minutes to introduce myself and say, talk a little bit about my history here at the radio station and a little bit about my civic duties that I do,
what didn't
things
they
that I
know
do.
About you?
They knew about the radio persona, obviously. They all do. But they didn't know about some of the behind-the-scenes things that I do here at the radio station. They didn't know, obviously, that I'm the manager of KEEL, that I'm the brand manager of this radio station and all of our products.
The program director, to use like 90s lexicon.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And they did not know about my civic duties with regard to on the boards and finance committees that I'm on and things that I've done over the years, because I've been... Gosh, years ago, I was on the Cabosa board for a long, long time.
YWCA.
And, yeah, so many. Loving Solutions, a bunch of others.
Involved with the finances of those august organizations.
Yes,
Okay.
I've always been involved with the finances, with the contract work, with the employee search committees, all that sort of stuff. I've always been involved. So I told them a little bit about that, and I also shared with the fact that I was here and was in the council room, and when the Mayor Beard, created this A&E committee. I know the history about why it was formed, and it was to be an open policy to make sure this was all done fairly.
So did you?
And then it may have gotten off track over the years. I didn't say it's corrupt now, nor do I think it's corrupt now. I just think it needed a little tweaking.
Do you think that the way you presented yourself, the way you described yourself, and sort of your verbal resume, do you think that sort of mitigated some of the what might have been criticism later in the meeting?
We shall see. Oliver Jenkins said, based on what I've heard, you obviously have the qualifications, so he made a comment to that effect. Councilman Bradford and Councilwoman Lynch had some concerns, and they voiced them. Councilman Everson, gave me some caution. He said, I hope you like binders. I'm seeing a stack of binders all the way up to because you're going to have a lot of binders of reading, reading proposals and all that. You know what? I didn't seek this out. The mayor came to me for people that are asking about that. It's a non-paid job. If it's going to be if I'm such a lightning rod and going to draw such hate, I'm not going to lose any sleep if she finds somebody better to do it, but I would love to, and I would be honored to serve.
Since you brought it up, are you surprised at the criticism, the assumption of your corruption? I know you expected that from some quarters, but from others, are you surprised the number of people that just assume that you, Erin McCarty, are a corrupt individual because you are considering taking this position because you have acceded to the mayor's request to serve on this committee if appointed, if
the council approves it,
if approved by the committee, if by the council. Thank you.
And here's the thing that there's going to be a crowd of people that no matter what a mayor does, they're going to be seen as corrupt. And yes, I've had, and this was, the mayor mentioned this yesterday. I'm still going to come after the mayor when I think there's things that she's not doing right or there's things she can do better. And she said that in the meeting, because I said, if there are people here, and I'm addressing the council, who think that this is going to influence what I do in my daily job, you're wrong. And the mayor said, she's still going to come after me, and I'm like, yes.
I have described, I think, the people you're talking about. There is a faction of listeners, there is a faction of people in town who think that their assumption is that, and I'm going to refer to the mayor now, Miss Ollie Tyler, that they think that she is part of this corrupt government of Shreveport to the point that A, we should not have her on, and B...
Can you imagine never have your mayor on your radio station?
And B, they think that if we have her on, as soon as she starts to talk, I or you should scream over her, liar, 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 and smack her with our shoes. So, that being the case, are you surprised at some of the intensity? I was going to say the animosity and the venom. Are you surprised at some of the intensity of this criticism that assumes that because you have accepted the possibility of this position from the mayor, that makes you as corrupt as they see her?
No, I'm not surprised at all. And to those people who are skeptical of this, I would just ask you and implore you, give me a little time. Give me a little time. Let's see how it goes. Let me get in there. Let me see. Let me dig. Let's see what goes on. Let's see if I get a call from the mayor regarding a contract. Or let's see if I get a call regarding her campaign. what I can do to get her on to talk about her.
So you're not.
And I will absolutely come on the radio and go, guess what? ABC happened.
But you are not surprised, you are not shocked at the number of people that think you're in this for a free kitchen or something like that.
I'm not surprised. There's going to be people that they're just, there's some snowflakes out there that everything is negative.
So what happens next?
The world sucks. 2 weeks, the confirmation vote by the city council. They vote me up or down, and then we move on. And I'll move on to my next haterade, whatever it is.
848, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Traffic and weather updates just ahead. Plus, let's see, the American Ground Morning Minute. That's just moments away also right here on Keel.
The intersection at Greenwood Road and Juella Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Texas Street in downtown Shreveport. If you have any accidents, hazards, or closures to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today we'll have cloudy skies. We'll also have an afternoon shower, high about 49. Rain at times with clouds and a low of 44 tonight. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
Breaking news and trending talk. We are 1017 FM and 710 Keel. KeelNews.com.
You're listening to American Ground Radio's Morning Minute.
A new poll out by Rasmussen reports suggests the American public has serious concerns about the behavior of the FBI during the 2016 presidential election. According to the survey, half of American voters believe it's at least somewhat likely senior federal law enforcement officials broke the law in an effort to prevent Donald Trump from winning the presidency.
And now the Democrats and the Republicans have both done a 180. It used to be Democrats who criticized the FBI, and now they're defending the agency. Meanwhile, it was Republicans who were leading the charge to extend the government surveillance powers, and now they're arguing that agents have abused their authority.
Americans are losing their faith in our higher institutions, and it's because the people in those institutions have been acting in bad faith.
American Ground Radio, where building a better America begins with building a better us. Return each weeknight from 6 to 7 p.m. with Louis R. Avalone and Stephen Parr on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, and streaming live at KEELnews.com.
Eight 854, Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Just to clarify from earlier this hour, let me see if I got this right.
Mhm.
So if Diamond Jacks wants to move down south,
Yeah.
they have to have a site for the boat they don't have to build so that they can build a casino within 1,200 feet of the site where they don't have to have a boat.
Yeah.
Have
I think that's right, yeah.
Have I got that right?
Close enough.
Mm-hmm. And they can leave their boat here.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Erin has an idea for tomorrow. It's an interesting combination.
No, I take it back.
Of holidays and what in the Catholic Church are referred to as holy days of obligation.
Ash Wednesday tomorrow, and it's Valentine's Day.
The beginning of Lent.
Yeah.
So Erin had an idea that, what I think would be a good idea. I said, what? She said, well, maybe before the service I could catch the priest backstage, as she referred to it. It might be called in the sacristy, but she refers to it as backstage. No, they don't put on
the green
makeup.
room.
Yeah. Yes, the green room. And she was going to suggest, like Father Peter over at St. John's, listen, instead of the ashes, instead of the shape of a cross, since it's Valentine's, could you do a little heart
shape of a heart
on there?
Yeah, so all Catholics will have little hearts going around. Yeah.
And the more I'm thinking about that, the more awesome an idea it is.
No.
And I'm going to give you Bishop Duca's number. Don't let this chance go to waste.
This was not my idea. This was all Robert's
you can
idea.
Throw your weight around. You say, I'm helping with church reform. You gotta bring this church into the 21st century.
I think a priest who did it, that would be kind of funny.
Probably the last day on the job.
Yeah,
too.
probably would.
Yeah, this is a terrible idea. For one, not only does it just seem wrong on so many levels, but two, think about how smudged and messed up a little cross gets. I mean, what do you think's going to happen with a big heart?
Oh, yeah.
It's going to look like you've been working in the coal mine.
Bad idea. Sacrilegious. I'm going to hell. I know.
Back tomorrow morning. Well, I'm just not talking on purpose.
Black heart.
Back tomorrow morning, 6 till 9. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Here's Kim Commando.
Today, we'll compare two of America's hottest tech products. Amazon's Echo using Alexa, and Apple's new HomePod using Siri. Which is best? Kim Commando with your Tuesday Consumer Tech Update. Back in 2014, I was an early adopter of the Amazon Echo with Alexa as its digital assistant. Apple's new HomePod went on sale last week using Siri as its assistant. So I put them in a side-by-side test. Both Siri and Alexa are capable, but Alexa clearly has the edge. If you want recipes and fast facts, go with Amazon's Echo. But if you're listening to music, nothing compares to Apple's HomePod. Yes, it's 3 times the cost of an Echo, but HomePod's sound is stunning. There are 7 tweeters spaced evenly around, so it sounds great no matter where you stand. Amazon's Echo has just 1. HomePod has a high excursion subwoofer, meaning it can produce deep, clean, room-filling bass. The Echo has a subwoofer too, not as good. My advice, spend the extra money. Apple's HomePod wins. I'm Kim Commando. The world of home security is a noisy place. There are so many different systems, each claiming to be the best. Hidden in all the confusing chatter are long-term contracts, expensive monthly fees. And then there's SimpliSafe, the security company with no long-term contract, no expensive fees, and no complex installation. This is why SimpliSafe is now the fastest-growing home security company in the country, protecting more than 2 million homes. And SimpliSafe is now even better with the all-new SimpliSafe system, with even more safeguards to protect against power outages, downed Wi-Fi, cut landlines, hammers, thugs, and everything in between. The all-new SimpliSafe is smaller, faster, and stronger than anything before. Virtually invisible, with powerful sensors so small you hardly notice them. But the bad guys will, and you still get the same low and honest price. 24/7 professional protection for your home and family for just $15 a month. Go to simplysafekim.com right now to order your new system. That's simplysafekim.com, simplysafekim.com.
1017 FM and 710 KEEL. Your home for the newsmakers and all the big stories.
I'm Stephen Jackson, Cattle Parish Commissioner, District 3. I love waking up to Robert and Erin on KEEL in the morning.
We are KEEL. 1017 FM and 710 KEEL. 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 KEEL.
The intersection at Greenwood Road and Juella Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Texas Street in downtown Shreveport. If you have any accidents, hazards, or closures to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Cloudy today, a shower this afternoon with a high of 49. Mostly cloudy with rain at times tonight, low 44. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 1017 FM and 7.